Hey, welcome into the Mystery Fifth Hour, presented by McCurry Van Car Rental. Good job, Rockstar. McCurry Van Car Rental. All the vehicles you need to choose from, the trucks, SUVs, passenger vans that are tough to find in the rental market right now. They got it at McCurry. Great locations in Athens, Muscle Shoals, Huntsville, Coleman on 2nd Avenue Northwest, and always online, Rockstar, McCurryRentals.com. You didn't do it. McCurry.
I was trying to get my topic.
Rentals.com, McCurryRentals.com. You can also call them at McCurry Rentals, 559-1003. That's a 256-559-1003. That right there is Jim Dunaway. He just pulled his ear. He's giving signals to Lance. That's Lance Taylor.
He's playing Candy Crush, by the way.
Rockstar's playing Candy Crush on his phone.
On my phone.
I'm Ryan Brown. Thank you for joining us.
Have you guys ever gotten that where you're like in a social setting and somebody's playing like Candy Crush?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, there's this this girl that will come over and watch football with us sometimes, and she's playing Candy Crush a lot.
I like you being vague about her name. Man. She's not a big football fan?
No, I think she is. I just think, certain moments she gets a little bored.
Multitasking.
Yeah.
I've never played it. So
I've never played Candy Crush either. So that's what she plays. She's not just playing a game on her phone. She's actually playing Candy Crush.
Well, it looks like something where you're moving things around and it's really colorful.
That's probably Candy Crush.
And I would have said Cubert if we were in the 80s. But
Cubert. I used to love Cubert.
Playing Cubert. He was a good look. What the hell was he?
He was a fuzzy.
he was the,
I don't know.
Fuzzy,
He had a trombone nose.
what was it, the Noid that...
Avoid the Noid on
Domino's?
Domino's Pizza.
I did one time I did a huge presentation for all of the Domino's owners in the state of Alabama.
Yeah, trying to get them to advertise?
Yeah, at the old Melton Brook Inn, which is, I guess it's where Bricktop's kind of is. There's still kind of a vacant parking lot there. And I started it off by telling them, look, greatest marketing campaign ever was the Noid. I think you guys should bring it back. Silence.
They did bring it back.
They actually did bring it back. Yeah. Thank you for joining us. By the way, if you're watching us on YouTube, give us a thumbs up there for this, and make sure you subscribe and set alerts so you always know when we're live. Normally 9 to 1 every day. All right, Rockstar, get us started.
If there was an amusement park filled with your biggest fears, and let's just add annoyances, your biggest fears and annoyances, personally, what would be some of the attractions of your amusement park? Mine would be a small talk booth.
Small talk.
I hate small talk.
Like, hey, how you doing, man?
No, just like sitting in an elevator with a stranger.
Yeah.
And
Dunaway loves it.
He hates it, but he also enhances it by making longer and longer and longer. The only thing that makes this worse is longer. So, but yeah, a whole booth that were just like, and how about a simulator where you have the feeling of taking off in an airplane nonstop?
That doesn't really bother me.
That doesn't bother you? That scares the
Landing
hell out
bothers
of
me a lot more.
Landing
that anticipation of that big
that wheel,
that big first touch.
It's really
and
the
those brakes being
Yeah, but I've
slammed
got a
on.
misconception, and I've talked to people that are in the business, and they say landing's more dangerous. But I always feel better when I'm coming down than going up.
Well, Dunaway always makes the point, like, a flight can be great 99% of the flight. If you don't get the landing right, it's really going to ruin that other 99%.
So,
most
It's going to hurt those Yelp reviews.
I hate to do stats on you, but most fatal plane crashes happen in like the first 10 minutes of the flight.
Yeah, no.
I do not think that's true.
That's why liftoff
It's 100% true.
I think it is.
It's like he's walking in circles.
Something in the desert.
Mechanically goes wrong. When the seatbelt off comes on, I feel good. The only thing that's going to get you at that point is like an onboard fire, a missile.
Missile, those are bad. Yep.
Something really out of the ordinary.
Bird and engine right at takeoff seems to be one that gets a lot of them. The old bird and engine.
Hydraulics too.
Takeoff though, right?
That is takeoff. No, but I'm just saying.
I said takeoff.
No, but you would think bird and engine wouldn't be as bad as it actually is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you would think.
That seems like a small thing.
You would think
A lot of feathers.
Well, you could think you could put like a guard, a grill over the engine still that
That the bird can't get in.
yeah, well, the bird hits it and it just pops off.
We got our Shark Tank.
Well, now
Hey, that really is, isn't it?
you do have to. Well, you got to get a lot of air through that engine.
They haven't thought of this in all these years.
They have a box fan. On
That's
the,
gonna be your
reverse.
drawback. Yeah.
So I was going to bring this up though on your park that nobody will want to go to. So right now they're showing this new show that's coming on National Geographic. Chris Hemsworth is the Thor guy, is going to the extremes and doing all this. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
Yes.
And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, why in the hell? Why don't just take your Thor money and relax?
Right.
But he's doing all of these things, and one of them, I think he's on the tallest building in Dubai, and he's like walking like a plank basically, and just watching the commercial is getting me nervous. And so if you had like a simulation of that even.
Have you ever stumbled across these YouTubers, or it's on social media sometimes, that just they've got like the stick phone or they've got whatever, and
GoPro.
GoPro and they're just hanging from these buildings.
That's how people are dying.
And they go walk on the ledge. I've not heard of people. Are people
I get
dying?
thousands
yeah.
of views, Lance. I
Yeah,
get thousands
we
of
did.
views.
Didn't we do a story on people hanging off of cliffs and stuff that have been dying?
I mean,
They'll sneak into or on top of buildings and stuff like that illegally, and then film themselves hanging.
Just hanging.
doing the thing, doing the Tom Cruise Mission Impossible.
It
thing.
makes my hands just talking about it getting sweaty, and I got that weird feeling in my crotch. Do
Yeah.
you get that weird feeling in your crotch?
Describe it.
It's a weird feeling in your crotch.
Okay, yeah, it's a
No.
tingle.
Are you afraid of heights?
I am very afraid of heights.
Do you get that weird feeling?
I
like
do not.
it's am I the only one that gets
No,
that?
I get it when I'm actually in that situation.
what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, and I,
Okay.
I can get it watching people too
That's
because
what I'm saying, yeah.
at the Redmond Hotel downtown on the 14th floor, before they opened up the rooftop bar again, there were two girls out there on the other side of the rail.
Oh, why?
And there's like a the platform's about
doing?
this wide. They were walking around and like leaning over and like taking Instagram shots, I guess. I don't know what they were doing, but I was just like, what in the hell is going on?
I sound like the old man here, but what are you thinking?
You cannot land on your feet from 14 stories.
I doubt. I would. Okay.
I love
Dunaway, could you prove him wrong?
I would say one ride that makes you, that not the actual vomiting, but that feeling of that first,
Yeah.
swallow where you know you're going to vomit at some point in the next few minutes. The ride that would induce that would be a miserable ride at your amusement
It's just a
park.
constant feeling.
I would not like that. And
The
then
teacups do that.
Oh,
it does.
anything that spins
It does.
around like that.
For some
gets me.
people, not everybody.
Yeah.
And I can't ride the
I
teacups.
can't ride them either.
So I hate that ride. And I did it with my daughter just because she wanted to ride the teacups when she was little. And sure enough, I mean, for the next 30 minutes, I'm fighting yakking in the bushes at Disney for the same reason.
Would rather get the prostate checked.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Okay.
just good to do every day.
And I think another one would be prostate check. Yeah.
You haven't had it done
To a guy that
properly.
has a claw hand.
Step on up. Yeah, it's Kawhi Leonard.
Captain Hook. Captain Hook. He's sitting there going, hey, come on
His
in.
glove is just a garbage bag.
Dude, Kawhi Leonard would be a shitty
Oh, he'd be a
proctologist.
bad proctologist.
Literally. But the food option would be in the amusement park would be all like sushi and like raw fish. Everything would be fish. Everything would be from the sea or the lake or like crawfish. That would kill me in my amusement park from hell.
So you're just not a non-seafood guy
I
at
can't
all.
stand it. I can't stand. That's
Yeah.
all texture. Sushi, it's all
Yeah.
texture.
You know, it could be a fun ride for some people, but like where you're walking on each cube you step on, it cracks like ice, and you're going to fall through.
That's from Squid Game.
But at some point, you fall through into
Yeah.
the ice. Some people do fall all the way through into the cold water. That would be a fun ride.
Anything heights for me, I am terrified of heights, and I
So
mean,
mostly every roller coaster. That's
no, not the roller coaster as much, Jim, but it's like the ones that pull you up and then drop you down or whatever.
Yep.
What about a bug room where they just open it and turn on the lights and they say there's 25 spiders in here with you right now?
That would not be
You
desirable.
get to sit there for 30 minutes. That's,
Yeah. What about
that's the bug.
just that Indiana Jones scene?
Oh.
Well,
Where
Snakes.
you've got to walk through the snakes. and the
Non-venomous
rats.
too would still freak me out.
It's
Yeah.
just that
Snakes
feeling.
and the rats.
What about getting? You can get in the shark cage, and there's great
Oh.
whites down there. Would you guys do that?
No,
No,
I don't think so.
absolutely
Because
not.
I've seen enough. There's not many videos, but there's enough of them where the shark gets through there.
What's the Mandy Moore movie? 47 meters down.
I never saw it.
Yeah.
It's a
Is it
shark.
as good as Jaws?
It's probably, if Jaws is a 10, I would say 47 meters down is like a 9.5.
I felt like such an idiot though. Like we were in Chicago, and my daughter, my oldest, wanted to go out in the observation deck of the Willis Towers, or the old Sears Tower.
Oh.
And I stood there and I said, "I'm going to do it. Don't be an idiot, Ryan. I mean, you're going to embarrass yourself." And it was our turn. Like
your crotch
the group
get that
came up,
feeling?
my crotch got that feeling.
Knees buckle.
And I legit got to the edge where the floor ends and the glass begins, and I couldn't go any further. And she walked out, and I was like, "I cannot do it. I just can't do it." And I stood there in that line the whole time. I was like, "I'm just going to do this. This thing's never fallen. Like nobody's ever fallen through this. Why am I scared?"
Yeah, I don't understand people that say you need to overcome your fears by like the fear of heights by jumping out of a plane.
Negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the fear of getting shot, and I don't want to put on
You need to take a
bulletproof
bullet.
vest and let somebody shoot me.
Yeah. Only one way to get past that. Let's take a bullet.
What about fear of dying? You gotta let
You gotta let it go
flatline
somehow,
for like
Rockstar.
20 minutes.
That's
man.
right. Just test
wait.
it.
That was a good movie, wasn't it?
It was. They remade it with Elliot. What's her name now? It was not good.
He's yeah.
Yeah.
Just keep
Now,
yourself
could
in
you
production.
imagine this would get you too? Like you said, annoyances. Like if you had an amusement park and all you could hear is people eating.
Oh, soup.
The
Pho.
Pho.
Yeah,
They were
just-
sucking it up. That would be that
And
amusement
always,
park
there's
would be
a
awful.
random guy that's always jingling change or his keys in his pocket. and somebody with a.
You don't get the old change jingling anymore because most people don't carry change.
Right.
I can't tell you.
Brown throws his back at the.
I'm not
throw it to the tip
I'm
cup.
not going to use this, Tiny Tim.
Yeah. Anything less than a quarter, I put in the. Anything less than a quarter, I put in the need one, take one penny cup. So
I'll do that. I'll put a nickel and pennies in there. I won't put anything above a dime.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Dime or up. Dime or up, I keep. A quarter, basically, I keep.
Because I don't like nickels. Because Gary Goldman has a great. When you're in your pocket, a nickel plays a great quarter. You can't ever distinguish. A nickel
like
from a
you reach
quarter.
in there, start grabbing
So
it.
he does a great quarter.
Yeah. Hey, it is the Mystery Fifth Hour. It's always presented by McCurry Van and Car Rentals. McCurry Van and Car Rentals, the trucks, SUVs, passenger vans that you want to rent. They make it easy, get you in and out fast. Locations in Athens, Muscle Shoals, Huntsville, and Coleman on 2nd Avenue Northwest. Reserve yours today, 256-559-1003. That's 256-559-1003 or McCurryRentals.com. That is McCurryRentals.com, Lance.
So my topic comes off of something we were watching as we record this on a Monday last night. Justin Herbert goes down. Dre Greenlaw helmet to helmet, almost snapped his neck, it looked like.
That's
so
unfortunate.
He has to go over. New York phones in and says you got to check him for a concussion. So Chase Daniel comes in and they show the stat. 8 touchdowns in his career over 13 years. He's had 5 career starts. The guy has made $41 million.
That's a great life.
So the easiest, best job ever for me is Chase Daniel. You know, being able to be in the league, having all the benefits for being tenured in the league now, getting hold of clipboard, getting to travel around, and making $41 million for throwing 8 touchdowns. Quick math, a little over $5 million per touchdown. That's a pretty damn good, easy job.
Yep. I would agree.
How many franchises has he played for?
I would say 6.
4 or 5?
I know the Saints, Saints, Chargers.
Let's see. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So you think that's
Chiefs.
You think that's easier? I mean, he still has to stay in shape.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like he's in that
And,
much shape.
I mean, he has to stay in somewhat shape, or they could cut him.
Right.
And he has to be good enough to keep that job as a second stringer.
And he's got to at least do
No, I mean,
some,
you've got to have some sort of talent to
Right.
be able to
and
do
he's
it.
at least
Obviously.
got to do some film work because part of the reasons he's there is he knows an offense, right?
Right.
Like there's a coach that, hey, he ran my offense in New Orleans, so I can have him as my backup, and he knows my offense like that. Like the Detmers used to make great living because they knew the West Coast offense, and everybody in the NFL was running.
See, and I think I've told
Some
Jake,
of the Hewards did for
Yeah.
a long, long time.
John Parker Wilson, who joins us every week on the next round, I think I told him the story that when he graduated from Bama, our friend Dan from ATIX said, man, I think he's going to have a spot in the league. And I was like, you know, he'll play in the league. I said, but he'll never take a regular season snap. And so I bet Dan pretty significant an amount. And JP was in the league for a long time, but he never took a regular season snap.
he
So
got
that's a
tenured.
pretty good job.
Yeah. He got in the pension system.
So for him, his career: New Orleans Saints, Kansas City Chiefs, Philadelphia Eagles, back to the Saints, Chicago Bears, to my Lions, now with the Chargers.
So it's 7 stops, 16.
You say he has 8 touchdowns. He also has 7 interceptions.
Oh, hey, it's,
But
he's ahead.
is that job easier than NFL commissioner? We'll say.
Oh,
That seems to be a lot
yeah.
easier.
You get a lot more
Oh,
hate
yeah.
if you're the commissioner.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the commissioner, you've just got to deal with so much bullshit. I mean, it's just nonstop.
I mean, bullshit's what you make it. I mean, how much does you let the bullshit bother you?
Okay, yeah, but would you want to deal with the Deshaun Watson situation?
No, but
Yeah.
okay. How about Al Michaels?
That's a good gig.
That's better than Chase Daniels' gig, yeah. But
Yeah.
what do you think Al's making? What do you think he was making at the end for NBC?
But we'll say he's making $10 million now. And I mean, how much work does Al really put into these games?
Yeah, I mean, how many events is he? So he's doing 17 games, but on top of that, is he doing anything else?
He doesn't have to.
No, I don't know that he's doing anything other than NFL right
Yeah.
now. Of course, now this is basically
And I don't have
retirement.
to stay in shape.
That's true.
I don't really have to study anything, really. I just go out there, call what I see, and I'm done.
Yeah, really, you
I
have
love
a
how
coach.
easy we make it sound.
No, but he has a coach's meeting the day before.
Yeah, no, they come into town, I think, for the Sunday night game.
On
Well,
Friday.
he's doing Thursday night game, but for the Sunday night game, they get in town Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, better gig. Before he retired, Nick Faldo. I mean, he played the game.
He did play the game, but he was doing CBS and the Golf Channel, so he was going to every event.
Okay, but
Just about every
So I just roll in every week. I'm at a country club. I'm at the best places on earth,
Yeah, but you're
eating
still
the best
working.
food,
Yeah.
hanging
You're still
out
working.
with the best people. You just want to sit down and talk. I mean, those are easier, I think, than Chase. Chase is having to stay in shape. You can tell what's on my mind.
I would
I'm
love
not
it.
staying
Yeah,
in shape.
yeah, not doing exercise.
Yeah.
The easiest one, I'll do the easiest job I ever had. And I don't know if you guys have ever had a job you would call easy. But when I was I think I was a freshman in college, the guy that was the president of the Sachs Quarterback Club called me and he's like, hey, it is my responsibility to sell the ads in the football program. I do not have time to deal with it. He goes, most of these are just going to be, you got to call and get the business owner on the phone, and out of obligation, they'll do it. Would you be willing to do it? I'll pay you 20% of whatever you sell. And I was like, heck yeah, I need the money. So I made a few calls, and then it occurred to me very quickly. Selling the full page ads takes a quarter of the work, and I make the same amount of money, right? So I'm like, I just need to sell all full page ads. So what I decided to do was go to all the full page ad people and sell them, and then go to all the half page ad people and say, hey, I know you did a half page last year, but we've sold all the half pages we've got. Could I talk you into upgrading to a full page? And I had an obligation. They're going to say, no, get me out of there. They're like,
what was the name of your yearbook?
Huh?
What was the name?
This is the football program. My yearbook was the Echoes.
Okay.
You were Mr. Echo.
I was Mr. Echo.
So what did they say when there were no half-page ads at all?
You know what? I wasn't there for that, so it didn't really bother me, Jim.
So were you one and done?
Huh?
One year?
I only did it that 1 year because I guess the next year the quarterback club president did it himself. He didn't pay me out of his pocket. But yeah, I wasn't there when Green's Art got the football program. Was like, wait a minute, nobody's got a half page ad in here. I had that last year.
We sold all of our half-page ads. We had zero.
So then I got to the end of it, and whatever, I didn't have a backfilled, so I went to the quarter page ad people and did the whole trick with them. Like, hey, there were some half page in there, not a ton, but I had to go back to the quarter page people. That was the easiest job I ever had because it was just a phone call. I mean, imagine sales if all you had to do was make a phone call and you got a yes, and you could upsell everybody.
Be nice.
Oh, and college kid making that kind of money. I was a freshman in college, and I probably made, gosh, I don't know, 20%. It was probably $20,000 advertising. I mean, that's a pretty good lick for me, man.
Yeah.
$4,000.
It's not 41 million, but yeah, that's good.
What, 41 million? But to Dunaway's point, I didn't have to do any exercise
Yeah,
for
you
it
didn't get
either.
in shape. You just didn't pick up pick up the phone receiver.
Have you ever had an easy job?
Outside of what we do now.
Other than this, obviously.
No, because I did like landscaping. I sold garbage bags door to door.
Yeah.
I worked at car washes. I detailed cars.
Come to think of it, I've never had a hard job.
Yeah. I've had a lot of hard jobs actually.
Yeah, I've never really had one.
But I respect people that do those jobs.
I do too, very much. Even though I've never had one.
I've waited tables, and that's not easy work. You got to deal with so many people complaining and on your feet all day.
You make a case that everybody should do.
Service work.
Service
yeah.
work,
I think
yeah.
so. I mean, if you go out to eat, this is where you know the business.
Oh, we did that thing.
I bet your daughter's a great tipper.
Not as good as me, but yes, she is.
Well, you're the goat.
Her mom is.
Yeah, but you feel bad because you're complaining about something, so you have to throw that extra 5 or 10%.
No, I'll
on there.
share you. Like yesterday on a Sunday, I watched my Buccaneers. They ended right before 11:30, so I jumped in the shower and went to save a place at one of our favorite places after church, near our church, that fills up with some soccer fans and football fans, but post-church people. So I went to get us a table for 4. Not knowing if Maggie and Harper, I knew Harper was joining, was expecting Maggie to join. So I'm there, and I'm there for an hour. So I'm through one cycle of table turnover. And then here comes my crew, and so I'm there for another table cycle. So I double tipped at that point, to which my family doesn't always understand. But I was like, listen, I was here. This guy could have had this table turn over once already.
Yep.
I ate up one of his tables already, so I double tip. I think about things like that. We had DoorDash last night, and we tipped on the dash before you even saw who showed up. Well, guess who shows up? It's a mom with her 8-year-old son.
Awesome.
Oh,
who's
Dunaway.
walking around.
So the kid comes to the door with her?
Yeah, he's carrying my
Probably a
food.
midget. It's probably some kind of.
He's carrying my.
They've got a racket going on.
He goes, God bless us, everyone.
Has his brim of his hat just.
So I just said, "Here's my wallet." But I'd already tipped him, but I gave him a 20 cash.
That's pretty
I've
smart.
never heard of that. So the DoorDash woman brings her kid to the door.
She had to call.
Right.
Because we're in a confusing little home
Okay,
now.
yeah.
And it's hard to tell which is
You
the
really
front, which
are.
is the back. I mean, you don't know.
Yeah.
So I said, I'll tell you what, I'll just step outside. So I stepped outside, and the little kid has got his little phone light on.
This is amazing.
And trying to look at the numbers.
Cane.
That's
Yeah.
hey, it's me over here.
Your neighborhood, you should have to. You should have to shoot a flare if people are coming to see you.
Yeah. So anyway, that is an amazing.
Yeah, so I walked back in. I said, "Please tell me you tipped well." I tipped my normal. It only tells me, you click it. I didn't do the other.
Oh, you could do add custom.
And I was
sure.
like, and I had to tell Maggie, and then Maggie's feeling bad about it.
So you couldn't go back and you couldn't like give him cash.
You can't go
on the
back
side?
and add there.
But you could have tipped him like a 10.
Well, I
on
did.
the
I
side.
gave him cash.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Damn, so
Yeah,
you
20. I gave him 20.
You spent a lot of money on tips yesterday.
I did.
Jimmy Tipper. What a work by that kid though, or by that mom bringing the kid along.
I bet it wasn't a game.
You don't think so? You
Not
think the
my
kid?
head.
Oh, they just stay in the car. Then like, you got to come to the door with me. Why? I just trust me.
Yeah. You'll appreciate
Yeah.
this.
I mean,
I'll give you half.
I could tell as they got back in their Mercedes, the fact.
Probably did.
That's a credit. All right, that is going to do it for another edition of the Mystery Fifth Hour. We thank you for joining us, and thank you to McCurry. McCurry, as Rockstar is showing you, trucks, SUVs, passenger vans, McCurry Rental has it. The van and car rental experts there. 4 great locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Huntsville, and 2nd Avenue Northwest in Coleman. Call and reserve your rental today, 256-559-1003. That's 256-559-1003. Our Rockstar, McCurry. No, right there. Right there. McCurryRentals.com. That is McCurryRentals.com. Give us a thumbs up on YouTube, subscribe, and set your alerts. Thank you for joining us on the Mystery Fifth Hour.